Hello, my name is Melissa Gibson. I am the Adult Services Manager at Scott County Public Library. And welcome to our very first episode of Bookends. This is going to be a weekly show coming up every Tuesday at 3 o'clock. You won't always just have to look at me. Sometimes we will have guests. We will have other staff members here at the library. We will have patrons who come in. If you would like to be on here to actually review a book with me, let me know, and we will put you on our show. So basically today, I just want to welcome everyone and tell you a little bit about some of our book-related activities here at the library. We have 2 adult book discussion groups. One has been going on for quite some time, and it is called Book Talk. It meets every 6 weeks on a Saturday. Our next one actually is coming up this Saturday at 3 o'clock. We meet in the boardroom, and we discuss a variety of books, nonfiction, fiction, you just name it. We've talked about it. So our book that we are discussing this coming Saturday is Hidden Figures, which is the book that is the basis of the movie that was just out a couple of years ago about the ladies that were so amazing and working with the space program back in the 50s. So I have learned an amazing amount of material from the book that was not in the movie. So I suggest everyone read the book if you really want to know more about them. But we are going to be discussing that at 3 o'clock. We have snacks. It's very relaxed. It's not like a class. It's just, hey, come in, enjoy books. We also talk about books among ourselves that we enjoy, so we always come away with some more book suggestions to add to our list. The other book discussion group meets actually tonight. It is the first Tuesday of every month. We meet at 7 o'clock in the cafe. It's called a Novel Idea Book Discussion. We don't just discuss novels, we discuss everything, but we're brand new, so we have only had this a few times. Tonight we are discussing Alice Hoffman's novel, The Museum of Extraordinary Things, which is a historical fiction. It is set in New York City around the turn of the last century, and it deals with Coney Island, all the freak shows that were all along that area, all the strange goings on. The Triangle Shirtwaist Fire, which was horrible. It deals with what makes us human, what makes us monsters, and workers' rights and women's rights, and the end of nature as a city takes it over, all kinds of things. It is a beautiful book, and we will be discussing it tonight. The library actually will provide snacks for you. If you come to the book discussion that's in our cafe, we'll provide the snacks. So enjoy some treats at our cafe as well. The other option, I guess, we have for book discussions is we have a Goodreads page. It is called Scott County Readers. If you look us up on Goodreads, you can find our little emblem for the library and find us there. And we have a list of all the books that we're reading for our book discussions. And you can, if you can't come to our book discussion in person, you can actually type your question there or a comment, and we'll engage you right there online, sort of a virtual book discussion, which is kind of fun. And we hope to expand this and make it really a thing. So we encourage everyone to join. I love Goodreads because I cannot keep up with the number of books that I read. I'm reading 5 right now and getting ready to add 2 more. I think as the last count on my list, I've read 800 and something, closing in on 900 books, and I have 400 something on my list to read. Now, I cannot remember those for anything. So thank goodness for Goodreads. I can actually list them, rate them, and I can give suggestions that way. So, one of the things we're going to do on our Bookends program is suggest some books to read. I'm sure everyone is looking for some summer reads on your trips, sitting in the beach, sitting in your backyard, just chilling in your house. Hey, now's the time. We just mentally want to visit someplace else. So 2 books that I recently read that I actually enjoyed very much. One is a historical novel by Margaret George, and it's called The Splendor Before the Dark. It struck me as interesting because it is about the last year of the life of Nero. Now, we say the name Nero, you think Hitler, you think awful things, you think Christianity and persecution and awful things. Well, let me tell you, I learned some things about Nero I had never learned before, and yes, it's a novel, but at the end of this novel, she has pages and pages of references and resources where she got her ideas about the new facts and the new character studies she brought out in this man that I think may be slightly misunderstood. I came away with a new appreciation of his character and his contributions. Still not my favorite person, but I learned a lot. So I actually would suggest that. This was actually a second book. Her first one was The Confessions of Young Nero, which comes before this. I have not read it, to be quite honest. So now I'm going to find that one and kind of read things in reverse. The other book that I found that I absolutely loved was a book by Taylor Adams, and it's called No Exit. And it's a thriller. It's one that will keep you on the edge of your seat. I had to keep kind of sneaking off when I was at home away from my dusting duties and go back and read my book. It was terrible. But it was about a college student who was on her way home to see her mother, and it was just before Christmas break. And her mother was going into surgery. They had parted on bad terms, so this was her chance to make things up to her mom. She gets caught in a blizzard just as she's trying to cross the mountains into Colorado. She barely makes it off the road. Her cell phone's dying, the charger's back in her dorm, things are not good. So she finds this little tiny rest area that's kind of almost a forgotten one. She pulls off, finds 4 other people who were stranded there, and so they're all going to hunker down for the night. Unfortunately, there is a child who has been kidnapped and is being held in a van in this parking lot. She has no idea who it belongs to, if it's one of these people, who are the good guys, who are the bad guys, but she knows she has to do something. It is a frightening book. It is about being in the right place at the right time, and even if you're not a hero, you can step up and make a difference. Highly recommend it. Literally to the last page, I did not know what was happening. So those are 2 of my suggestions. We will have more coming up in the weeks to come. And if you would like to go back and view these videos, we do archive them. They are under the Bookends collection on our Facebook page. So you can go back at any time. If you can't remember the name of that book that I suggested, whenever, you're welcome to come back and look at it again. Until next time, this is Bookends and Melissa Gibson.